Hello, my friends. Very good evening to you. Today is the 17th of June. Tomorrow is the 18th, my birthday. And on the eve of my birthday, slightly weird to read for you poems from my book of poems called Prison Talkies. Slightly weird to read poems about prison, right? About detention, about my own detention, right? But here we are in lockdown. It might be over for some. It is really not over, and it is not safe outside. So, anyways, and these are three women that I'm going to read my poems on and about, who I remembered very distinctly for different reasons, as you will see, and in some ways they made it lighter for me, they made it easier for me, they made it livelier for me. So here is my poem, the first one. I will read three. It's called Kim the Businesswoman. Hers was a very complicated case, for Kim had been running a business with illegal dimensions, or something like that. She was possibly from one of the Koreas. She had been fighting since months. Kim was a very rich woman. And this is exactly what I encountered, that a lot of people who had a lot of financial power were fighting for an American status. God knows why had they not simply procured it the right way. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so there were lots of mysterious cases that I encountered, and my friends, I apologize for the reflection of my glasses, but you're going to have to bear with me. It was a beautiful rainy day today, so it's already dark. It's about 6:30, and yes, it does get dark around 6:30 in the eastern part of India. We are at the Nepal border. On a day when 20 of our soldiers have died on the Chinese border. We are reading, and things have happened between North and South Korea. The liaison office has been blown up by Kim Jong-un. So here is the poem, Kim the Businesswoman, and this is where I was, but I'll read it again. Kim the Businesswoman. Hers was a very complicated case, for Kim had been running a business with illegal dimensions or something like that. She was possibly from one of the Koreas. She had been fighting since months. Kim was a very rich woman and used the nicest of soap. Kim was also very kind, very pleasant, had probably even smuggled people in. She oftentimes walked up to Kim and asked for a hug. She, as in the protagonist of the poem, oftentimes walked up to Kim and asked for a hug. So this is a poetry portrait of a woman named Kim in a detention center in the United States of America. The next poem is called The Girl from Colombia. The girl from Colombia had the sternness of a man, the roughness of a man. She was authoritatively secretive, like talking about business or maybe drugs, openly with a code, or assessing lawyers or who could get what done. Everybody knew that it was not the merit of the case, but the lawyers and the money that did it. Everybody listened to them, not just the judge, but also his clerk. It got them people status. It got them people status. I'm sorry about the typical New York slang here, but this is what I found out in Chautauqua County Detention Center. Friends, I've also cruised on the Chautauqua Lake and yesterday I read this news about shooting in Albuquerque. All of this in New York, in upstate New York, a place where I really left my heart. But amazing stories, once you're detained, you get amazing stories to tell. You can always tell them in poems. Poems have their own form of telling a story. The third and the final poem today of this reading is called The Guatemalan Deportee, and I remember the faces of all of these girls. I'm calling them girls, but they were like elderly ladies, some of them, not old, but and this was in 2007, so this was 13 years ago, seems like today. She had been awaiting deportation, the Guatemalan girl, since the day I arrived. She had chosen not to contest and had asked for deportation from the judge and was still waiting. She was still waiting after I had asked for deportation from the judge and was waiting. This is the truth of how the immigration works there. And the branch office of immigration came in every week and told you how they were paying $100 per day for each detainee. It was so funny. The immigration briefings when two, uniformed soldier-like, officers came in and lectured you how expensive it was to keep you in the Chautauqua County Detention Center, and I wanted to ask, why don't you just send us? I waited for 70 days for my deportation after taking it. I mean, I could have contested, right? Like the businesswoman Kim and the lady from the Columbia Nexus, but I, like the Guatemalan girl, chose to not fight and exit. Okay, so this is the thing about the immigration officers who came in and who told you how they were paying $100 per day for each detainee. And the last two lines of my poem says they probably did not have enough staff to buy tickets. That's just my dig at the rate of unemployment that every government or every opposition has to, all the time talk about and flout. And why don't they just employ people is my question. But unemployment after Corona is a different story. I don't know what happened in immigration detention centers. I heard that prisoners were let loose and God knows what happened. I mean, murderers were let loose. So probably illegal immigrants had a ball. Anyways, I hope you like the poems, and if you do like my reading, please like and subscribe my channel. And if you do like the poems, please buy my book of poems called Prison Talkies. Thank you, friends, and have a lovely evening.